Tired of spending all your time booking discovery calls only for leads to no-show? Time to automate your booking system? Today, I'm going to walk you through how to set up discovery calls and one-off sessions in GoHighLevel. We'll cover how to automate the entire process, setting up calendars, reminders, and follow-ups so that you don't have to worry about it. By the end, you'll have an automated system for scheduling and managing your bookings that works smoothly for you and your clients. I'm Nick, and this is video 7 of my 10-part series on how to automate your coaching business with GoHighLevel. If you want to build along with me, click my affiliate link down below to get your 30-day free trial of HighLevel. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome back. Good to see you again. So today we're going through discovery calls and one-off sessions. Let's jump right into it and see what we're talking about. So here's what we're going to cover. Setting up a calendar in HighLevel, super useful. We'll need this a lot. Reminder workflows goes hand in hand with calendars, making sure people actually show up once they book in and making sure you don't forget as well. Tracking outcomes. So did they show up? Did they not show up? What's happening? And how are we going to deal with that? Funnel build. So we're going to build a bit of a funnel around our calendar, make it look a bit nicer than just the raw calendar widget. And trigger links. These are super useful. I've mentioned them a bit before, but we'll go into them a bit further here, find out exactly how they work and how we can take advantage of them. Before any of that though, follow me on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn for more exclusive content. I'd appreciate it, and hopefully you'll get some value out of it too. And share the course. Sharing is caring. Let your friends know about this course in the community if it'll be helpful to them, which if they're in the same line of work as you, it probably will be. Quick warning, this is the most important video in the entire course. Watch the entire video, don't skip, don't fast forward. But as a pro tip, watch the video on 2x speed. I think it's going to be a long one today because there's a lot of ground we're going to cover. So goals and outcomes. Intended outcomes, live calendars. You'll be able to send your link to leads to book in calls and for sessions as well, not just leads, clients, anyone. By the end of this, if you follow through, it'll all be set up and ready to go. And automated progression. So appointment reminders and next steps will be automated. So when someone books in, they get all the reminders, all of the next steps, everything that needs to happen. Any outcome will be handled for. Hopefully, that's the point. So let's jump into it. Setting up a calendar. So easy booking. Set up a calendar where clients can book available time slots for their discovery call or coaching session. So we're going to go into HighLevel in a moment and put together a calendar. Make sure it's all easy to use, all set up, all nice and clean. Sync with Google Calendar. So we want to integrate with your Google Calendar or another provider, maybe if you use Outlook, to automatically update your availability. Make sure that you don't get any double bookings. Make sure that once it's booked, it's there and easy for you to see, easy for you to keep track of it. And customize booking options. So we're going to define how long each session is, how many sessions per day, and add some buffer time between bookings. But before we get into any of that, let's just have a look at our Miro board and find out what's going on here. Where are we up to? So this is our simplified journey here. So we are around here. We're doing these two today. So the discovery call is what we're setting up, and then the one-off session, whether that's paid or free. We might have a look at it being free today because getting into payments and all of that will take up a bit too much time. But if we look at our pipeline, we've got discovery call booked, discovery call no-show, discovery call attended. We also got bad fit, one-off session declined, one-off session booked, one-off session no-show, one-off session attended. So we're actually going to be covering all of these stages today. I'll try and make it quick and painless. And if we go down here into the more in-depth journey, we can see, so did they book a discovery call? No, follow-up. They've booked it in. Did they attend? If no, we're going to do a follow-up email sequence. If they do attend, what happens after that? Do we do a one-off session with them? Has that been booked in? Are they a bad fit? So let's jump right into it. And we're going to start, not with an automation here actually. We're going to start with the calendar build, but we'll just have a look at this here. So this is the automation that will be involved with reminding them that they've booked in a discovery call. So it does look like a lot, and it is a lot. But yeah, we'll be building it all out today, and we'll go through it step by step, make it nice and easy for you. And if you join the paid community, you'll get this template all pre-built. So all you have to do is change the wording, if even that. So let's get right into it. We'll go into HighLevel and we'll go to calendars. Now, oh, there is a calendar there. So my Google Calendar's already integrated. Let's have a look at that quickly. We should have done that in the, that would have been done in the sub account setup, so we don't need to look at that now. If you're not sure, you can click back, go to the module 2, module 3, and have a look at that. Let's go into calendar settings. We will just build the calendar here. So no calendars found. It's already integrated, connected here with my Google Calendar. So you can see that here. And I've also got video conferencing not integrated here on this one, but you would add that in to connect your Zoom account. So we just click Add New. You can connect Zoom, all of your calendars. Calendly, we don't need that here. The calendar that we're building replaces Calendly. Okay, let's get started. We will create a calendar. So we've got a couple of options here. We can do personal booking or round robin. These two are actually the same. So the only difference is with a round robin, if you have multiple people, you can have that set up in that manner. So say you've got a sales staff member or someone else that takes calls. This just allows you to have multiple people in there, but we can do a personal booking. Let's do that. Personal booking. So what is the calendar name? We're going to call it Discovery Call. We select the team member, so this would be you, unless you have other team members that you want to create it for. And we're going to create a custom URL. Now this URL, it doesn't really show anywhere. This is just, it's used by everyone in HighLevel. So that widget / booking / I would put your business name in. So we'll say test business. You can see it saying that's already taken because someone else in HighLevel has used that one. But if I put in another / and do discovery call, hopefully that's all right. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then we're having a look at the meeting duration. So how long do we want our discovery call to be? We'll just make it 30 minutes. We can have a look at some booking details here. So Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you can do that in the advanced settings. Accept payments. No, we don't want to do that for a discovery call. It's a free call. We'll confirm this now just to have it created. Then we'll go back in and look at some more advanced settings there. All right, let's close that off. But yeah, the link is ready to go. Actually, we'll preview it quickly. We'll see what it looks like. So even just with that minimal setup, we have a functional calendar here where someone can book in. So all of the times are ready to go. They can pick their time and they can fill in their details. Okay, so let's go back. Let's tweak this a little bit. Let's make it look a bit nicer. Okay, close that off. And we will go into the 3 dots here and click on Edit. So we've got some more information here that we can fill in. We can put in a logo. It's very handy to have something in there. It makes it look a little bit nicer. Maybe we can even, as we do this, let's put in, this isn't really a logo, but there we go. We've got that juggler there. We've got our custom URL, meeting invite title. So this is what will be seen on Outlook on Google Calendar when it's there. So we've got the contact names, discovery call with, and then we can put in the username as well. So this would be you. You know, I'm just going to put in my name. There we go. So that's set up. So I'm just going to save this here. Yeah, so that's saved. So I'm just going to go over here and refresh, and we'll see the changes already, hopefully. There we go. There's not much of a change, but we've got that little picture in there of our juggler. Okay, so yeah, we've got discovery call with Nick Gibson, or we can put in the appointment assigned user full name. So that would, if we're doing a round robin with multiple people, it will tell them who they're having the call with. But for now, it's just with me. So no need to have that too set up there. Now, next we've got the meeting location. So this is where I'd say put it in as Zoom, or you can do it in as Google Meet. You can, if this is an in-person thing, we can have an address, we can have a phone number if you want them to call in on that. Ask the booker. So that would be up to them as to how they want to meet, where they want to meet. And maybe you can put in some options here. Yeah, you know what, for now, let's just do it as a Google Meet call. That's nice and easy. And we can change the event color, so what it comes up as in their Google Calendar. So maybe we'll do purple. That's a nice color. I like purple. All right, so we'll save that. Okay, and we're on to availability here. So this is where we can tweak our hours that we're available. So whenever we want to take calls, let's say we only want to take calls on Friday, we can get rid of these and just take discovery calls on a Friday. And you can mix and match this with your other calendars as we put more and more together. Look busy is a new feature. So that's where you can hide some available slots, create some scarcity there, even though you might have your whole day open. We don't necessarily want people to know that. So we can set that up. Recurring meeting, we're not going to use for this one, but we will use that in the future. Meeting interval and meeting duration. So the interval is how often the slots show up here. So this is showing every half hour. If we wanted to change that to every 15 minutes, we'll save that now. So we can see now they have a slot every 15 minutes. Even though it goes for half an hour, they can book in at 12:15 or 12:30, 12:45, whatever they like there. Okay. Minimum scheduling notice. So we don't want people to book in immediately. We can do it a certain amount of days, a certain amount of hours, completely up to personal preference here, maybe 4 hours. So you need a little bit of notice there. And the date range, so how far out can they book? So right now, this sort of goes forever. They can book any time in the future. We don't necessarily want that because people will book from 3 months from now and then they'll forget. So what I recommend is probably about 14 days. So they can book sometime in the next 2 weeks or even 7 days if you want it to be happening very quickly. Maximum bookings per day. So this is just if you get to, let's say, 5 or 6 discovery calls in one day, it'll just close off all of the slots, even if you still have them available, just to prevent you from getting overloaded there. So let's say 4. And then a pre and post buffer time. So this is just making sure that there's gaps in between the appointments. So you can have 15 minutes pre, 15 minutes post, just so that no one can slot in immediately after each other. All right, so we'll save that. And we'll see if we go back here and refresh it, it should look a little different. So I can no longer book out miles in advance. It's not letting me book in right now. It's got 4:15 as the earliest slot I can book in, and right now it is about 12 o'clock. So that's taking the 4 hours into account there. And yeah, some of the other stuff, we can't see it in action here on the front-facing calendar. It's in working behind the scenes. All right, forms and payment. So we have a default form here. We can customize this. The default form, it asks for first name, last name, email, phone, and notes. But we can create different forms for it. So we've got here our lead magnet form. We can switch the order. So we'll switch the order from form to date time selector. So that just means that instead of seeing this first, they see this first. So if you want them to fill in their details before they can pick a time, yeah, we'll leave it like that for now. Why not? Add guests. Do we want our attendee to bring people along? Probably not in this case. Confirmation page, we'll have that as default for now, but we're going to create a redirect a bit later on. So this is just what do they see when they book? Did they see this? Or do they see a different URL, like the thank you page for a funnel? Bit of a preview there. Auto confirm, yes, we'll set that up. There was something else here. If we switch it around. Yep, sticky contacts and consent checkbox. So this is on the default form. Sticky contacts, I would probably recommend turning it off. It can get a bit messy. What that does is just pre-populates the field. It can be useful if it's only front-facing. I would not use it if you're planning on booking people in through this form as well. I would not set that up. But yeah, we'll go with our lead magnet form. We'll go with form first. Okay, and we'll save that. Let's have a look. Let's go back to our calendar here and see how it's changed. Yeah, so now it's asking for some details here before anything goes ahead. And then it will allow me to book. So the benefit to that is that you'll capture their details before they find a slot, so you can follow up with them if they then don't go ahead to book in. Okay, now we've got some notifications and additional options. We can send an acknowledgement email. Now, I would say leave all of this turned off because we're going to handle that ourselves. We're going to create a workflow. That's what we're doing right after this to send out the reminder emails, to send out the confirmation, all of that. Allow rescheduling and cancellation. So this is up to you. I say rescheduling is fine. I usually like to turn off cancellation so they have to contact me if they want to cancel the meeting. And we can say the rescheduling link would expire 60 minutes before the meeting. So they have to reschedule within 60 minutes. Now this is a good one, especially for sessions when you're charging, because your time is valuable. So we don't necessarily want them to be able to reschedule at the last minute, because that slot's booked out, that's taken now, and you won't have time to bring anyone else in. So that's an option there. We'll say 60 minutes. Maybe we'll make it a bit longer. We'll make it 4 hours. We'll save that. And customizations. So the calendar cover image is only visible in the group view, so we won't see this on the individual calendar. If you have a group of calendars, you can put that in there, but generally not necessary. So calendar widget style, we've got Neo and Classic. So Neo is this one, it's what I'd recommend. We can also have a look at changing some things around in here, so we can change the colors if you want to have it aligned with your brand color. Let's make it sort of a dark purple there. The button text, we can change that to something else. So book your call. And we've got the calendar title, calendar description, calendar details. That's, we go back. Did we fill that in? Maybe we didn't. We didn't, it was right at the start. Happens to the best of us. We'll go back, so discovery call. So we have a description here that I forgot to fill in. Discovery call for your coaching. Okay, so we'll save that. We can group them as well. We haven't created any groups yet, but if you have multiple calendars that you want in different categories, you can create those. I would just recommend that you have them set up as something front facing. It will be visible on here. So if you have it as sales, it will show there, and we don't necessarily want to display that. If I refresh this now, yeah, this is a discovery call for your coaching. So that was in this customization here, where we've got the calendar title, description, and details. So like duration, date and time, all of that information. Now we can see that purple sort of changed here as well. So if I update this, yeah, so we've got the color scheme there. So that's all looking nice. All right, so that's all set up. That's the calendar. That's how we create it. Once we've created one of these as well, you can just duplicate it. So if I want another one for the one-off session, let's do it now. We might as well. I'll do a bit of a speed run here. We're just going to duplicate this. And we're going to call this one-off session. This is a coaching one-off session. We'll call it one-off. Okay, so that's saved. Now availability, we're going to keep the same, but we're going to change the meeting duration to 60 minutes, and we're going to make the interval 30 minutes. I'm going to save that. I'm going to switch it around so we have the date and time selector first. We'll save that. Okay, yeah, this is all looking good. Let's change the color of it a bit. Let's go more green. There we go. We'll change it to book your session. We can change the background a bit as well. This is probably going to look awful, but let's do a yellow. Ugh. Okay, save that. Okay, just going to open this up here. Oh, that is awful. But you can see there what we've done. I'm just going to fix that. It's impossible to look at. I'm just going to change the background color there. That was terrible. I'm sorry about that. Let's make it more of a gray color. There we go. That's looking a bit better. It's still kind of awful, but better. And we can see this is our one-off session. So that's all booked in. We've got our one-off coaching session, and we can put that through. We've got our form here, and we have some different details. So it's 60 minutes, and we can see it's only every 30 minutes that's available, not every 15. And I think we saw there, we've got the same lead form there, and we've got book your session down the bottom here. So we can, as I said, tweak this form to whatever you want. This is where you probably ask a couple of questions, get some more detail before you jump on the call with them. So that's our 2 calendars created. Let's jump back in and see what's next. Okay, reminder workflows. So automated reminders, set up email reminders that are automatically sent to clients before their booked session or leads. So we want them to know that it's happening. People forget all the time. I'm terrible at forgetting things. I even forget my own sessions that are booked in. I have reminders for me. But yeah, to really increase your show up rate there, to make sure that people are attending, automated reminders, super helpful. Multiple touch points, send reminders 24 hours, 1 hour, and 10 minutes before the session, sometimes even 5 minutes instead of 10. So just to keep people aware, keep it front of mind for them, and just sending those more than once at that cadence, 24 hours, 1 hour, 10 minutes, is incredibly helpful. It's fairly standard there. You're probably across that already. But yeah, we will check into that. We will create all of those. And internal reminders, as I just mentioned, send reminders to yourself as well to ensure you stay on track. So I can be bad at that. I even had a thing the other day where I was walking out the door and I had an email saying that there was a session coming up in an hour, and I'd completely forgotten about it. I had to go back inside. So let's build this out. Let's build some reminders for ourselves and for our leads, our clients. So we will jump back into here. And we're not going to look at this part just yet, but the goal of this is to get the lead to show to a discovery call. So we want to tag them as booked. We want to remove them from the nurture sequence and the no-show sequence, if applicable. We want to update the opportunity in the pipeline to discovery call booked. And then we want to send them a confirmation email, a 24-hour reminder, a 1-hour reminder, a 10-minute reminder, and an internal notification here. And we're going to include the Zoom link in that 10-minute reminder so they can jump straight in. Then we're going to wait 90 minutes. And then if they've been marked as a no-show, we're going to go to the no-show follow-up. But if they haven't, we're going to mark them as showed. This is just something to help you make sure everything's up to date, because sometimes after a call we can forget to go in and mark it as showed. But if we have set something up automatically, we'll remember if they're a no-show and we'll go in and change it, but not so much if they show up. And then we update the opportunity to discovery call attended. So that's in the pipeline. So we're moving them throughout these steps of the pipeline from booked to either no-show or attended based on what's happened. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm just going to jump back to the discovery call. Okay, we'll start building this out. So we go to automation. And we'll create a workflow. We'll start from scratch. We'll call this one discovery call reminder. All right, so we'll add a trigger. The trigger that we want here is appointment. We'll use appointment status. We can use customer booked appointment, but appointment status is better because it means we can tweak it. We can be more specific with it. So we want to do appointment status is confirmed is our filter here. So we're going to say discovery call booked. Now, as it is right now, this would just be for any appointment. We want to filter it down specific to the discovery call. So in calendar, discovery call. All right, we will save that trigger. Okay, so the first step, what we're going to do is tag them as booked. So we're going to add a tag, add contact tag, and we will say discovery call booked. Okay, we're going to add a new tag there, discovery call booked. Save that. We'll then update the opportunity. Okay, so in the leads pipeline, discovery call booked, and the name will just be the contact name. Lead value, again, you can set this up if you like, but really it will just be updating the existing pipeline there. Unless we have people coming in direct to a discovery call without a lead magnet, that's something we should talk about as well. Okay, after that, confirmation email. Oh, no, we need to remove them from other sequences. So here we go. Remove from workflow. So we want to remove them from another workflow. And that is the lead nurture. Okay, so we'll save that. Remove from lead nurture. And the logic there is just that it will interrupt this sequence, because the purpose of this is to get to book the discovery call. Once that's done, we don't need to continue to send them emails from here. So that is set up. Yeah, so after we remove them from the nurture sequence, we want to send them a confirmation email. Okay. And all of this will happen in a matter of seconds. So they'll be tagged. We'll update the opportunity. I'm just changing these names so it's easier to look at, easier to read and understand what's going on. Email. Confirmation email. Discovery call. It's booked. Contact first name. Now what we can do here as well, if we want to be really fancy and use this as a template further down the track, is we can change this to appointment title. So that will just use the appointment title that we set up in the calendar. So this will always be your discovery call is booked, because this is filtered here. But if we use this as a template, if we duplicate it for our one-off session, it will say your one-off session is booked. Okay, we'll put in some quick details here. Okay, what do we want to tell them? So we want to tell them a bit about, we want to address them by name first. Hello, contact first name. Your appointment title is booked. And then we'll get some details about the appointment, shall we? So, got the start time and date. We've got the time zone. We can give them the meeting location. This would be the Zoom link or the Google Meet link. We don't necessarily want that straight away, but we'll put it in there, why not? We'll also include, so add to Google Calendar and add to iCal Outlook. Now, all of these at the moment will not look fantastic. We're going to tweak it a bit. And we might just include the reschedule link in there as well for them. All right, I've just added a couple of extra details in here, make it look nice. So we've got the appointment start time, time zone, meeting link. Now with these down the bottom, what we're going to do is we're going to turn these into hyperlinks, and we should have done that with this as well. So with the meeting link, right now it will just come out as text. It's not a hyperlink. So I'm just going to add a link to it, and it will be itself. And the action is new window. So this just turns it into a hyperlink. Now with the add to Google Calendar, we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to copy that, and we'll say add to Google Calendar, and we'll put that in as a link there. And the same with iCal. Outlook. Go and reschedule appointment. Okay. Yeah, so that's all set up. So we have our confirmation email here. Nice and easy, and we can now reuse that multiple times for any other booking. You can tweak it a bit more here and add some more detail, what to expect on the call, that sort of thing, but that's entirely up to you. Okay, up next, we need to remind ourselves as well. We want to know that someone's booked in with us, so we're going to send an internal notification, and that will be an email, or you can send yourself an SMS. So we'll select it to user type. So we can say to assigned user, we can say particular user, we can say custom email. I'm going to go with particular user, and that is going to be me. All right, and we will say contact full name as just booked. Appointment title. And then that will be the message as well. That's not meant to be a hyperlink. That happens sometimes. I'm just going to remove that. And then we're going to put in some details. Date. Time. That should be enough. Now what we can do here as well, if on the form you've asked some questions, we can include some custom values there, some custom fields rather, but we don't have any set up just yet. But yeah, that's something we'll look at next. Okay, so we'll save that. So we've got a notification for them, we've got a notification for us. Then we are just going to create a wait step. So we're going to wait, not a time delay, but based off an event appointment time. And we're going to say 1 day before. Now, this here, if the timing of the wait step is already in the past, how should the contact proceed? So we will say skip all outbound communication actions till next wait or event start date action. So what this means is we've got a full 24 hours here that we're going to be sending this out beforehand, but they can book in 4 hours beforehand. So if that happens, it's not going to send this next email. It's just going to jump to the next wait step, which will be 1 hour before. Okay, so we'll save that here. We'll put a name for wait 24 hours. Wait until 24 hours out from appointment. We'll save that. I'm just going to copy and paste some details here. I'm going to email. Put that in. We're going to tweak this in a second. Okay. Your appointment title is in 24 hours. And then we'll do contact name. And we'll say, just a reminder, or our. You know what? Because it's for both of us. And then the rest can be the same. Again, you can tweak this as you see fit, but we'll keep that the same. And we haven't had a look at the from email. This will just be coming from the default email at the moment. So whatever you have set up, you can tweak this. You can put your name and your email address. Just make sure it aligns with the domain that you have set up. Otherwise, the deliverability goes out the window. So that's all set. Okay. Now we're going to just do a bit of a copy paste here. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy all actions from here. I'm going to copy it down there, and then we're going to tweak. So we're going to wait until 1 hour out. So we're going to change that from days to 0, hours 1. Save that there. Okay, and then we're just changing 24 to 1. So we'll get rid of the reschedule here. Save that. And let's do it again. It's always easy to copy and paste things. And we're going to wait until 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. Minute reminder. Okay, just going to change some things here. We're going to get rid of this because they don't really need that now. We could have probably gotten rid of that last time as well. We probably should have included a signature on all of these as well. We'll do the default method for that, which will be the user full name, and we can do the location details. So that's account name. So this would be your name and the business name. So we'll save that. All right, so that's all our reminders set up. And if we have a look here, that takes us down to this step here. We want an internal notification there as well. Maybe at the 10-minute mark, maybe at the 1 hour mark. I'll leave this up to you. We'll create that though. So let's do the 10-minute mark. Email. Okay. Just making some tiny tweaks here. So this means you will get an email as well, and you have the details there with the link, so you can jump right in. So you're not looking everywhere scrambling for the link. That's all ready to go. Oh, I need to assign it to someone. Let's do assigned user this time. We'll make sure at the start that it gets assigned to you. Assigned to user, Nick Gibson. So that's all set, just checking over this. Yep, all looking good. Next steps, we're going to wait 90 minutes and then we're going to check if they're marked as a no-show. Okay, so we wait. So 90 minutes is a long time, but it's enough for you to update the record. So we're going to wait 90 minutes. And we're going to say if. We're going to look at our conditions here. So you can have a look at recipes. Let's have a look. We'll see has tag. That's a good one. If tag includes, let me create a new one here. We can. Discovery call no show. Add that. So if it includes discovery call no show, it says here go to no show follow-up. We don't need to worry about that right now because we haven't created that yet, and it will happen automatically when it gets marked as no show. But if no, we mark it as showed and we update the opportunity. So let's put that in place now. So we'll update the appointment status to showed. I'll just change the name of the condition here. There's no show. And the branch to make it a bit easier to look at. Yes. No. Question mark on there to make sure we know it's a question. Update the appointment status to showed. And we're going to have a separate workflow there. No, actually, let's put it in here. Update opportunity. I take it back. We're going to have a separate one there, just in case this gets interrupted by something else. Every time it gets marked as showed, we want to ensure that's happening. So this is going to be its own little trigger. And yeah, with the... Ooh, let's have a look at that. There we go. That's a bit cleaner. All right, so we are all set up here. We've put all of this together. We have all our reminders in place. Let's see what we're going to do next. Tracking outcomes. So that's what we were just talking about, showed and no-shows. Marking appointments. So after a discovery call or one-off session, mark the appointment as shown if the client attended, or no-show if they didn't. And then no-show follow-up. So we'll automate a follow-up email for clients marked as no-show, offering them a chance to reschedule. and shown follow-ups. So for any attended appointments, trigger a post-call workflow, such as sending a thank you email, a summary of the session, and an offer to continue working together. So this is where we'd be looking at after the appointment, what happens. We can automate a lot of this. If they don't show up, best thing to do, send them an email saying, hey, life gets in the way, I get it. If you want to book in again, here's the link again. If they do show up, depending on what happens on the call, there's a couple of different ways you can go. So thank you email is always a good way to go. You can fill in some details. We'll have a look at this maybe in another session on putting a summary together and sending that back to them automatically. Or if you want to upsell them, maybe you mentioned it on the call, maybe you didn't, but if you want to say, hey, I've got this core offer of 12 sessions, I think it'd be really good for you. You can put that in an automated email as well. So let's have a quick look at setting up some of those. So we have those here. So we have a discovery call marked as no-show. So the goal here is to rebook the discovery call. So let's set that up now. So we'll do update status, appointment status updated. And we want to add the filters here. So the appointment status is no-show. We'll add the filters in calendar discovery call. So this is the discovery call no-show. And what are we going to do here? So we're going to tag them as discovery no-show and update the opportunity. Okay, so add a contact tag, discovery call no-show. Okay, we're going to update the opportunity. The leads pipeline, discovery call no-show. Save that there. Then we're going to wait an hour and then start sending out some emails. Now this might seem like a lot. It's worth continuing it because we've stopped the nurture sequence because they've booked in a call. So a couple of follow-ups here. You can even copy paste some of the emails from the nurture sequence if you like. That can double up sometimes. But yeah, the more that you follow up, the more likely they are to come back, just by law of averages. If they're not going to come back after the first email, they're definitely not going to, then it doesn't really matter. But if they're sort of on the fence or if they miss it and they come back to it a couple of days later, we've got a bit of a cadence here where it goes 1 day, 2 days, 7 days. We're not bombarding them every day saying, hey, please talk to me. We're just checking in every now and then we add them to the newsletter, to the mailing list. So let's put this together. So we're going to wait 16 minutes. Or 1 hour, as it is also known. And we're going to send an email. Okay. What happened? So if you'd like to reschedule, please book in here. And we should have our trigger link for the discovery call. Yeah, so we'll put that in as a link here. New window. Let's be a bit nicer to them. Hope all is well. Thanks. And we'll put in the username. All right, so we've got our first follow-up there. Then we'll just duplicate this out a bit. So I'll come back and tweak these to make them a bit more detailed. But we're just going to copy all actions from here, paste it down there. And we're going to wait, I believe it was 1 day is next. And I'm going to leave this for now, just for the sake of expediency. I think that's what that word means. So yes, we've got 1 day, another 2 days, another 7 days. I'm going to double up. All right. Okay, so that's all our reminders set up, or all our check-ins, our follow-ups rather than reminders. And after that, we are going to tag them as newsletter. So this just puts them on the main mailing list. Then we're going to wait another 7 days, give them a chance. And then just for the cleanliness of our pipeline, we're going to abandon the opportunity because if at this point they haven't booked in, they're probably not going to, at least on this attempt. So we will just update the opportunity there in the stage that it's in the leads pipeline, in discovery call no-show, and we're just going to change that to abandoned. All right, so that's our no-show all set up. Now, how do we trigger this? So we can see that it's been triggered as if the appointment status is no-show, if that's updated. So let's have a look at that quickly. How do we do that? So to show you how to do this, we need to create an appointment. So I'm going to do it here from the calendars tab in appointments. We just click new appointment. There's a couple of different ways that you can do this, from a contact record, anywhere and everywhere that you can think of, it's there. So we're going to do the discovery call. I'm going to choose Barry Bonds. Let's talk with him. Discovery call with Barry. The time, I'm going to set that up as 12:30, and we'll book that in. Now, it's not going to trigger the workflows because I haven't turned them on. They're still in draft mode. But we can see here, we now have an appointment. So if you're looking through what's happening in your day, you've got your appointments here. They're in your calendar as well. So we can see it there. But looking at it in the appointments, once it's done, once we've spoken to Barry or we haven't spoken to Barry, he didn't show up, we then change it here to no show. Or we can go into the details and change it down the bottom here. This is where you can also join the meeting directly, but I can, oh no, it won't let me change it now because the time hasn't passed yet. It's still in the future, so I can only say confirmed or unconfirmed, but once it's in the past, at least from this step, we can change it, or I can just change it here to no show. So after every call you have, you should be going in, updating this to showed or no show, depending on what happens. So what if they show up? Depends on what happens, but we'll mark them as showed. So our goal here with the discovery call attended is to offer the one-off session for non-committal or offer not made. So ideally you offer the one-off session on the call and they take you up on that, or you offer the core sessions as well, the full package. You don't need to have that one-off step in there. It's just a good entry point. And that's what we're looking at here, is making it as easy as possible for people to say yes. So if they've been marked as showed, we want to tag them as call attended, remove the discovery tags, and update to discovery call attended. Then we wait and see if they've booked in, and we then follow up from there. So what we might do, because this cadence looks very familiar, we might just copy an existing workflow that we've just built. When you can, we want to copy everything. So we're going to take this no-show, we're going to duplicate that. Call it 5 discovery call showed. Just going to rename this one quickly so that they all show up in order. Okay, discovery call showed. Here we go. And we're just going to build internally inside of this. So we want to tweak the emails, of course, and we want to tweak some of the details. So we're going to change this to appointment showed. And we're just going to change that there. We're going to add a tag as, we haven't created it yet. Save that. We'll update the opportunity. I should change the name. Update it to discovery call attended. Save that there. And then we're waiting 60 minutes. We might even wait a little bit longer. Yes, we've got to remove some tags as well. So we want to keep it clean. They're no longer in the discovery stage. So remove contact tags. We don't want to remove all tags, but we want to get rid of discovery call booked and probably lead nurture as well. Yeah, because these are stages that they're in. The others are there, so we know that they're a lead. That's a stage, but they're still in the lead stage. We still want to know the lead magnet was delivered. That's about it for now. Save that. Okay, we've updated this. Now, I haven't put it in there in the map here, but we could just send a thank you email. So let's do that. So we'll wait 60 minutes and we will do a thank you email. Nice to see you. We will leave that for the moment. Okay, then we will wait 1 day. And this is where we'll follow up about the one-off session. So if they've already booked it, that will interrupt this workflow. So like we have the remove from workflows elsewhere, that will happen here. So what are we going to do? We're going to follow up. We're going to pitch the one-off session and give them some value. So let's do that here. One more. Okay. So it's making some minor tweaks here. And we're going to change this trigger link. We haven't created one yet. That's all right. We'll come back to that in a moment. Okay, we'll save that. And then again, following up with that, a bit more information, trying to bring them on. 2 days, 7 days, and then the same tag as a newsletter, wait another 7 days and abandon the opportunity. So that is all set up here already. We were able to do a nice copy paste there. So that is ready to go. Now let's see what else we need to do. Bad fit. So this is a fairly easy one. We'll put it together nice and quick. So if you speak to them and they're definitely not for you, it's not a good match at all. We will do this based off a pipeline update. So pipeline stage changed. We'll go in pipeline, leads pipeline, and stage is bad fit. All right, we'll save that there. So this means when you move the opportunity across to that stage, it will trigger this workflow. And what we want to do is tag them as bad fit. We want to send them an email. If we're nice, we don't always have to do this, but alternate options. Here are some resources that might help. So with this, I mean, if they're a bad fit, it doesn't mean that they can't be helped at all. Maybe you can redirect them to someone that might help. Really depends on the options there. I know that people that I work with, they maybe do mental health things sometimes where they don't want to deal with people that have serious mental health issues, but they can redirect them to the right area, send them to Beyond Blue or something like that, local counseling, that sort of thing. So after that, after we send them out the email, let's see what order I have it in here. Yeah, we want to mark as do not disturb. So it'll just prevent us from sending out any emails going forwards. So DND. Yeah, so we'll disable that for all channels. Sorry, we'll enable that for all channels. So we'll turn on the do not disturb. So it sort of remove them from our mailing list, unsubscribe them from our end. Then we will update the opportunity to lost. Okay, so that's in the leads pipeline. It's in the bad fit stage, and we'll make it lost. And we will remove the newsletter tag. We don't want them on the mailing list at all. Now, a lot of this, maybe it's not so harsh for you, potentially. You might want to keep them on the mailing list if they're a bad fit, because they might just be bad fit for now, and maybe in the future they can use your help. And then we just want to remove from all workflows. So just to make sure that no other emails are going out. So that's all set. One thing that we can do as well here is lost. We can select the lost reason. We have to create that first, but we can put in there bad fit is the reason, but we're already fairly aware of that. So yeah, that one is quick and easy. And the way that we trigger that is within the opportunities themselves. Do we have any created? Leads pipeline. We don't have one. Let's add one in. Roger Clemens. All right. So we'll create him in the new lead. There he is. So from here, we can either update the stage here to bad fit, or we can just drag and drop. So we can drag him over into bad fit here, and that would automatically trigger that workflow. It's not going to do it now because it all is still in draft. I haven't published any of this, but we would see what would happen. Oh, he's just disappeared. Maybe it was published. Ah, no, I had the pipeline changes. That's published. It's the only one. Yes, I forgot. We already set up a workflow for this when we were looking at pipeline changes. But yeah, I'd recommend the other workflow over this one, so I might get rid of that. All right, moving right along. So funnel build. I know we've already built a funnel before for our lead magnet. I'd recommend creating a small funnel just for your calendar itself. So we can create a landing page that highlights the benefit of your offer with a strong headline, a brief description, and a clear call to action. So we'd create a 3-step funnel here. From your email sequence, we want them going straight to step 2, which is the calendar itself. But you can have it just out in the world, a landing page there for people that find your website through SEO or through your LinkedIn profile, your Instagram profile, wherever you may be. They can click to that and see why they'd want to have a discovery call with you without even getting the lead magnet, potentially. They can enter at this point. Calendar page. Allow clients to choose from a time for their session to collect necessary details through a booking form. So this would just be basically what we saw with the widget, but we're going to make it look a bit nicer. And a thank you page. So we'll confirm the booking, provide next steps, and thank the client for scheduling the session. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So we're going to make this very quick. We'll go into sites, to funnels, and we're going to clone this funnel because we already have one there for our lead magnet. Okay, we're going to edit it. And we're going to import some steps. So we'll call this Lander Discovery. Sounds like a spaceship. And we're going to use existing, and we're going to use our lead magnet landing page. And we're going to add another new step. Call this calendar discovery. Create that here. We're going to use existing, and we're going to use that same. We're going to use the thank you page for this one, and we're going to tweak that a bit in a moment. And then we're just going to add one more step, which is the thank you discovery. And we're going to use existing, and we're going to use the thank you page again. So we'll tweak all of these, but we don't need to tweak them too much. Now we just need to change the path on this, and we'll call it discovery call. Just fixing some of the naming here. There you go. So like with everything else, we want our favicon in there. I'm not going to do this right now because we just want to get to the important stuff, which is how to embed the calendar. It's the key part here. Okay, let's dive into the funnel. So I'll try to move through this very quickly. There's a couple of key things that we want to tweak here. So to start with, we want to change this button action. We don't want the pop-up form anymore happening from that. All we want to do is go to the next step. So the next step will be the calendar page. So of course we want to tweak all of this information. We want to change the headline. We can keep the same layout. We can keep a very similar layout, in fact. But yeah, just changing these details here to next step. All right, so we'll save that and we'll publish that. Okay, then the calendar page. All right, so we've used the thank you page as a template here. We don't want the thank you page. So we're going to delete some of this stuff here. And we're going to add in an element. We're going to add in our calendar. Here we go. So which calendar are we going to use? We're going to use discovery call. And you can see there's our calendar widget. So we can put something else in here. We can put a title up the top. Let's put that in now. Headline, drop it in up the top. Book your discovery call. Save that. And then on the calendar. So the action here, we don't want the action from the calendar builder unless we tweak it back there as well. We can do that, but let's just go to the next step once they book in. So we don't have to do too much tweaking here. We might just look at it on this page. Yeah, all looking pretty good. Okay, and then we have the thank you page. And we can just say, thanks for booking your call. So very simple, very easy there. What we've done is just to make it look a bit better than just the calendar widget by itself. Although I do use that at times, just the calendar widget, but this looks a lot nicer and it has a nice entry point there as well. It looks cleaner, looks more professional. Okay, so that is that. It's all live and ready to go. So trigger links. Now we've discussed this a couple of times already, but I just want to show a use case here for these trigger links. So what are trigger links? They allow you to track whether a client has clicked a link in an email or a message. Follow-up actions. So we set up follow-up emails for leads who click the booking link but fail to book an appointment. So that's what we'll be doing in just a moment. We recover lost opportunities, so we can identify and re-engage leads who showed interest by clicking the link but didn't finalize their booking. So the scenario here is that you've sent out your nurture emails, or you've sent out an email, someone's clicked the link to go and book in, and then for whatever reason, they have not completed the booking. Maybe they couldn't find a time that was good for them. Maybe they balked at the last minute. Hard to say what the reasoning is, but we want to check in on them and find out why. They've shown some interest, but they've not taken the next step. So let's have a look at how it will work. You may remember I mentioned it here. So we've got the discovery call link click. This is before the booking happens. So all we want to do is after the link's clicked, we can tag them and show that they've shown some interest. We'll wait 30 minutes. That's enough time for them to book in, and then we'll send them an email. So it's as simple as that. Let's go and create that right now. So we'll start from scratch. Call it discovery call link clicked. Add a trigger link clicked. And the trigger link will be the discovery call link. Save that there. Tag them. Save that. And we'll wait 30 minutes. Save that. And then an email. Okay. There we go. So we'll set that up. A simple email there. Very easy just to reach out to them. and have a chat. Now, what will happen there after 30 minutes and that email sent, it'll just go straight back into the nurture sequence or whatever workflow they're currently in. Now, something else I wanted to show you, which I almost forgot about, and this relates to the no-show nurture sequence. Here we go, discovery call no-show. So it's just a little setting. In the no-show, we want to stop that once they've replied to it. So if they write back saying something, anything, we don't want to then keep sending these emails, even if they don't rebook. So it's a quick setting here, and it's stop on response. So I've mentioned it earlier in a previous video, but this is a really useful one for the no-show sequence because they might write back saying, I'm not interested, and we don't want to keep bothering them. So there are cases where this is super useful, and this is one of them. So stop on response, we have that set up. And that's it. We have our calendars all set up and ready to go. I know it's been a long one. There's just a little bit left. We're going to do a live run through of the whole thing. No, we're not. We've already done that. I should remove this slide, but it always makes me laugh that I've already done it and then it tells me to do it. So summary, what have we covered today? All right, setting up a calendar. So setting up from scratch, building that out so that people can book in with you. Reminder workflows, make sure that they show up by letting them know what's going on. Information is always useful. Tracking outcomes. So what happens if they show up, if they don't show up, if they're a bad fit, or if they want to move on to the next stage with you. So that's all been covered here. Now we've only shown it for the discovery call, but it's a simple copy paste and tweaking of names for the one-off session as well. So I'll build all that out for the snapshot for the template, but that will be ready to go. And a funnel build, so how to make it look a bit nicer than just the calendar widget itself. Have a thank you page in there with some extra resources, some more information, and trigger links. So how to use those to try and recapture those that maybe clicked and had a look at the calendar, but then didn't go ahead for whatever reason. Okay, action steps for you, homework. So number one, take a moment. How are you feeling about all of this? I know this was a long video. I think I've gone for over an hour. And that's not including all the times I've paused, but maybe it'll be under if I edit some stuff out. But it's a lot. I get it. I know. It's always a lot when you're starting. You can rewatch this, do it a piece at a time. If you're in one of my communities, feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to have a chat. If you're not in one of my free communities, join, and then we can have a chat. Set up a calendar. So create a calendar for clients to book discovery calls and one-off coaching sessions. Create one and then just duplicate it, tweak it. Automate reminders, so set up email workflows that send reminders before a scheduled session. Build a booking funnel, so create a simple funnel for clients to book a call, as we just covered. Create trigger links, so set up trigger links and workflows based on client actions. And share with the community. So post your funnels for feedback and help, post your automations, let us know what's going on with them. If you're having any problems with them, more than happy to help out. Okay, now quote of the day, the secret to success is to do the common thing uncommonly well. That's John D. Rockefeller, business magnate and philanthropist. So this is what we're doing here. It's a common thing of setting up a session and having people show up and then taking action based on what they've done. But we're doing that uncommonly well and easily by automating almost all of it. All you really have to do here, once it's set up, is just show up to the sessions. And then after it, tell the system what happened. And we can add more and more to this. There's so much that you can do with custom fields, including ChatGPT to get summaries. If you have a video recorder like Fathom, and bringing in the notes from that, automatically transcribing the entire session, bringing the notes into HighLevel, having it send an email based on those notes. There's a lot that we can do here that we haven't covered today because that's all much more advanced stuff for another course, another time. But yeah, you will succeed if you do the common thing uncommonly well. And to make it easier to do that, we automate all this and let you focus on the session and the call and not all the admin. Okay, so please leave a testimonial if you've enjoyed this video, if you've found some value in it. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It helps other people find out about this course, about this community. And let's make it happen. Get started, get building. Can't wait to see what you build. All right, your booking system is fully automated. In the next video, we're going to be going over client onboarding, where you can streamline your invoicing, documents, all that good stuff. So you can check out that video here, or you can go back to the full playlist over here if you need to revisit anything. And if you need more in-depth help, join my Automation for Coaches community completely free on School using the link below. I'll see you in there.